So, after clearing 7th 14, you will unlock the OCO tab. Inside the tab, you will need to choose one of the legendary Aurorian to start recruiting. The question is, which one should you pick and why? We'll find out in this video. What's up, my nerd friends? Before we get into who you should pick, let us first understand how you can get these characters, because before you can obtain them, you first need to do a multitude of tasks. Some of the tasks are in your control, but some are basically time gated. You simply have to wait. There are a total of 5 phases required to complete in order to get the legendary Aurorian. Phase 1, 3000 prisms, log in for 10 days, and also clear the Spire level 30. For the prism, you should take around 6 to 7 days to complete, provided if you play enough on a daily basis. Like if you don't overcap your prism and you collect your prism from your prism pillar every day, it should take only 6 to 7 days, and the login, well, it takes 10 days. And the Spire 30 shouldn't really be a problem if you have a well-built team, but I'll come back to that later when it comes to choosing the Aurorian, because this is important. On the phase 2, you will need 5,000 prisms and 180 daily quests, and also 500,000 nitium. And 5,000 prism takes around 10 to 11 days, and the daily quest will take around 14 days, provided if you do almost every quest every day. And the 500,000 nitium, it shouldn't really take much. Probably a day of farming the nitium stage should be enough. And the phase 3, you will need 8,000 prisms, which equate to around 16 to 17 days. And you will also need 20 of each tier 3 material, which is the blue material. This is pretty easy. I wouldn't really calculate how long you need to do this, but just farm some soy sages, or even if you already have it. I'm pretty sure most people already have them. You can craft them in your workshop, or just open the box that most people have from events and stuff. Pretty easy. And for phase 4, you will need 8,000 prism, which is same as stage 3, 16 to 17 days, and 80 dispatch quests. This takes around 20 days for me. If you are smart about it, you can maybe like get 1 less days, but I wouldn't really fret too much about this. And the last phase, which is also the phase 5, you will need 10,000 prism, which equate to 21 days, and you need 10 of each purple material for the element, which is again pretty hard to calculate how long you need to collect these, but it's pretty easy. Definitely will not take more than 21 days. If you want to change your mind and recruit another legendary Aurorian, you will lose all your progress on the current phase itself. The previously completed phase will not be affected. Hence, it's highly recommended to at least complete the current phase before you switch. Now, as for who you should pick, my personal recommendation is Regal, and then Requiem, and then Mythos and Frostfire. My recommendations are based on their strength in the current meta. If you like a certain unit more based on their design, go for it. However, I do have to mention a very important thing. Remember the phase 1 we talked about? You will need to be able to beat the Spire 30 to progress. Hence, it's important you have a semi-well-built team for the element you are going for. For example, if you are choosing Regal as your first legendary Aurorian to unlock, don't expect to not raise any water unit and get Regal. Now, I will introduce each of their kit, why they are strong, and the best team that fit them. First, Regal. Regal is a pure damage powerhouse, especially when it comes to water detonator. He is second to none. His active skill allows him to enter an augmented state in this round only. Normal attack can be launched diagonally, which is huge damage. Not only that, each time you use this active skill, normal attack and chain combo damage are increased by 20%. Each uses of active skill costs 10 bits, and Regal gain 5 bits every round. If you are low on health, you will gain more bits per round, 1 extra bits per 20% health loss to be exact. With his naturally already high attack stat paired with 2 cluster chain combo and the ability to stack damage to astronomical height, and he still can attack diagonally. What else can you ask for more? He fits nicely into pretty much any team. I mean, what team doesn't like big damage, right? But I think he fits perfectly into a burst damage team because of his active skill. This is my favorite water team: Regal, Bartent, Bethlehem, Chloe, and Felicia. Fluttershy can be swapped to other units such as Hydrad or Sharona if you want to be more of a glass cannon. The team is simple yet effective. First, you will use Fluttershy to teleport and then use Barton and Bethlehem to create a perfect square around the boss to utilize Regal diagonal attack. Lastly, use Chloe for the buff. This combo can easily decimate a big size boss, and if the boss doesn't die from it, you can just do it again 4 turns later. Regal is easily the best water unit ever. Generally click the like button if you agree. Second, Requiem. Requiem is what happened when you give drugs for an already strong character, except she doesn't need it because she's already high on every tier list ranking. Good against big target? Check. Good against small target? Check. Good against multiple enemy? Check. Good personality?
そりゃチョコレートとかスイーツが好きよ。悪い？みんなだって好きなんでしょ？おだまり。意見は許さないわ。
I like my tsundere, okay? Shut up. Requiem active skill No Mercy costs 10 vis to clear the remaining vis to deal 150% damage to all enemies. The damage increased by 15% for every 1 vis clear. On paper, this doesn't sound like much, but if you pair this skill with the Breakthrough Tree, you also gain 2 extra vis for killing a target with an active skill. This means on stages that spawn a lot of monsters, Requiem can spend vis to get back her vis. That means you can do high AoE damage again and again and again. But active skill is actually not the strongest part about her. It's about her chain combo. Deal 180% damage to 2 surrounding cluster. If the damage is dealt, launches 1 lightning strike at the farthest enemy, doing the same amount of damage again. I don't think I need to explain how insane this is. In addition to already high multiplier 2 cluster chain, you also get another strike of lightning hitting another enemy furthest away. This can help you kill Strangler that like to stay on the corner. Usually they are healer or spike pest, which doesn't have a lot of health to begin with. And if there is only 1 enemy on the field, well, the lightning will just strike the same target. This makes her incredible against both big and small size monster. Big size because she's a detonator with nice chain combo pattern. Small size because she can hit them twice. You thought that's all? She can also have a 30% chance to launch a lightning strike when normal attacking. Works similar to the chain combo version. I guess Requiem is the ultimate stand for a reason, huh? This is the team I recommend for Requiem, but she is just an all-around fantastic damage dealer, so put her in any team you like. Mythos. I'm scared of her. Is it just me? Her eyes look like an emotional killing machine. But she's kinda cute though. Mythos is probably the highest damage dealer in the game if you count utility aside. She has the highest attack in the game with 3,845 attack and up to 310% multiplier for her chain combo. What the hell? Aside from her overly high attack for a single tile monster, I don't think she has too much usage. She has this active skill which can summon a massive deer and do damage similar to Charon Train. It's definitely good damage, but remember, Karen also reset tile and push enemy. I'm still in the process of recruiting her, so I can't recommend you a team, but you can replace Araya with her on single tile boss in my opinion. Frostfire, commonly known as the weakest legendary Aurorian. I agree and disagree at the same time. I actually made a video specifically talk about underrated Aurorian in the game, and she is one of them. If you want the detailed explanation of why, I recommend you to check out that video. The link will be in the description, and if you stay until the end, I will guide you there with end screen as well. Basically, she doesn't really do that much damage, and she doesn't provide utility as well, but there is a way you can use her effectively. Again, I already covered that in my previous video. Go watch that. I promise it's good. With that out of the way, let's get into the second most important part of the video. This thing right here. It's called Star Crest. You might have gotten it from doing event, or perhaps you saw it in this Star Gem shop and left wondering, what does it do? Well, as you probably might have guessed, this is the material needed to break through legendary Aurorians. However, these Star Crests are very precious material. You don't get them often. So, it's good to know on which Aurorian you should use these on before you regret using them on underwhelming breakthrough. Keep in mind, this is my recommendation, not the absolute truth or answer. So, do your own judgment if you will. First, I will go for Requiem Breakthrough Tree, which costs 4 Star Crests. This breakthrough makes her active from pretty good for a board full of enemy to insanely good for a board full of enemy. Of course, this is a very specific use case, but when the situation comes, you will not regret it. Next, I would go for a max breakthrough Frostfire, which costs a total of 10 Star Crests. Unlocking max breakthrough let Frostfire stack her active skill damage every time she uses it, which can be very useful on certain fights. Again, detailed explanation is in my underrated Auroran video. This is a very steep investment, so I recommend only do it if you don't already use Mythos a lot. You probably wouldn't use Frostfire that much even with the breakthrough, but she is a very strong but niche character once you unlock max breakthrough. If you like Mythos more, however, you should go for her max breakthrough instead. Her breakthrough will give her extra normal attack damage and also the chain combo damage. Lastly, Regal breakthrough and then Requiem max breakthrough. Regal breakthrough are kinda underwhelming, but it's okay because he is already strong enough as is. Requiem max breakthrough let you ignore defense based on the Vis spend, which sound good on paper, but the damage increase is minimal in most cases. For recap, choose Regal, and then Requiem, and then Mythos, and then Frostfire. For breakthrough, Requiem breakthrough 3, and then Frostfire or Mythos max breakthrough, and then Regal max breakthrough, and then Requiem max breakthrough. That concludes the guide for OCO. After you unlock your first legendary Auroran, you will also unlock the Elysium, which is just a collection of endgame bosses on ultra hard mode. Honestly, I haven't really done them myself either, so I couldn't comment too much on that. But if you are feeling frisky, go ahead and try them out. I hope you learned something for this video. The video I mentioned just now is showing on the screen now. I explained why Frostfire is useful in there, and of course many other good information. Go and watch it, and I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.